Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. It helps the channel grow, and I have so much gratitude to all of you. Thank you for those of you who've bought me a coffee, for donating. That donates to the channel. Um, I was guided to do this, so this is all I'm doing right now. So, thank you. This is what my guides have said. Embrace spirit, so that's what I'm trying to do. I had a really interesting experience just now. I channeled Moyra. He's an ascended master. He's also one of the ascended masters who agreed to be a teacher. So when one of the ascended masters agrees to be a teacher, that means they're the ones who help us here on earth achieve ascension with our spiritual journey, but they also help teach us with with spirituality, with our enlightenment, with all those things. So I had asked Moyra a question about what did Moyra want us to know about spiritual enlightenment, spirituality, where are we kind of heading collectively? Was there anything or any advice for us? What's interesting is when Moyra, I'm going to call him he because in most of his past lives he was a he. And in the box below I can list what some of his past lives were, so you can kind of have a sense of who he was. He's a very serious energy. Very serious energy. I absolutely adore him because when you feel him, he's so much love. He's like this unconditional loving energy, a lot of wisdom, but very serious and very logical. But when he talks, it's really interesting. It's not the message I was expecting at all, but he gives me all these images too. So it's like I'm talking, but I'm so far back. I can't quite. It's hard because I can't quite speak up, or I feel like I don't want to say, oh, wait, can you pause so I can tell everybody what I'm seeing while you're talking? Because I feel like I'm going to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt him because he's so serious. But I can feel his love. His love is just like so powerful. It's so powerful. But he's very serious too. But his love is, and the whole time he was talking to, I was getting like, I was overwhelmed in the chills. All I kept wanting to scream at was, oh my gosh, hey y'all, I'm overwhelmed in the chills. I've got the chills. I got the chills. I know this is like what I was seeing was like so serious. So he gives an example too. It's like I knew he could like read my mind when I was thinking, man, I want to tell everybody what I'm seeing. So he tries to give this example, but the way he gives it, I could, because he explains everything with a path. And the way he first showed it, I was seeing like a desert, and it started showing these like paved paths out in a desert, like out in the middle of nowhere, like you're in the middle of nowhere, and these like pavements started showing up. But then later on, he uses the forest, and this forest was this like majestic, beautiful place. And it was so serene, and there was like butterflies and waterfalls, and it was just like paradise, like something I couldn't even articulate. It would be something that somebody would have to paint to be in, because it was just so surreal how beautiful this forest was that he was showing me. And the path that he showed there was this like perfect like sand path that was perfectly white, that was laid out, that you were walking on. And then he's like, and then there's these other paths. They were all perfectly sand and white, how they laid out. And when he said, then you found your own path out, he showed me somebody. It was so hard not to laugh because he's a very serious energy. And I'm, really in the background. But he said, and then you found your own way out. He showed me somebody using the vines on trees, like in a jungle, like climbing their way out of a forest. Like you didn't even use a path. You literally used the trees as like monkey bars to get out of the forest. Um, so it's all about where we are in our spiritual journey, what makes us stop at a certain point in our spiritual journey, and why some of us might want to, why we might take a pause where we are, why some of us are still moving forward with our spiritual journey. He goes on to explain too what the fears are. He asks a lot of questions. His questions are interesting. They're very thought provoking. And then he also then challenges, like, why are you running backwards? Which I thought was really kind of interesting too, because I didn't look at it from the perspective that obviously he did. So he looks at it from these different points of views and then gives a different analogy with the forest analogy. And in the forest analogy, he talks about how a lot of you are actually on the path of ascension, which I was fascinated by, and what that triggers and why you may be pausing. So I found it, like, it was really incredible, actually. I'm covered in the chills still. It still gives me the chills. Like, it's not at all what I expected. It was beautiful. And then he ends with, like, I'm coming back. So I'm like, whoa, what else he coming back with? This was a lot to take in. So, if y'all have questions for Moyra, I, for some reason, feel very close to him. He's very easy for me to connect with. And I love him a lot. So if you have questions, you can always email me or post a comment below if you have a question and you want to know something specifically. He's very connected to your spirituality, to God, to Christ, consciousness. Well, and you can read about his past lives too. He's also connected to Islam, Judaism, Christianity, to all of those things. He lived a lot of lives in India. He's also known as Rumi. So you can ask a lot of things, but his whole thing is about your own spiritual development. So if there's anything you want to know, you can always pose a question and I can ask. And then I was thinking about doing a live chat. So I was going to set that up. Everyone can let me know if they think that's a good idea. I don't know if you want me to channel something or if you want me to do tarot cards. You guys can let me know. So I will talk to you soon. I can put timestamps below if you want. That'll probably be good for this one, like the forest analogy, since he talks about ascension in that one, and then the other one in the first one, he's definitely gave me the images of you being like out in the desert, and yeah, and then he gave the one with the spirit, like the forest. It's like he could tell I was thinking like, what are you doing? What is going on? I'm so the what? It's like he could tell. I thought you need to make this you need to explain these images I'm seeing here. And so I'll put timestamps below from this, so you can also just jump right into the channeling, and then also give you a little intro on Moyra, because he's just this beautiful, remarkable ascended master. So I will talk to you soon. I hope you enjoy it. Bye. Many of you are at a crossroads. You are walking down the path, yet you see another path to take, and then a third path, and then a fourth. You can say you're in transition. As you continue to walk, you don't know which way to go anymore. You have now become confused. On Earth, you would say it is your social media influence, your societal influence, people who are not as spiritually awoken, people who are not as spiritually enlightened, who may be influencing you to walk down the wrong path. You already know which path you want to take. You are stopping. You are stopping as you are walking. I'm asking you, Why? Why are you questioning yourself? I see many of you are struggling with this right now. It's how you say on earth. Your ego is fighting with your higher self. I see your egos are getting in the way, and you are having a hard time following the path you originally set out on, the right path, this spiritual path you intended that you were following. You were listening to your higher self, to God, the creator of everything. God loves you. We all love you. You are following the path of God, your true path, your life path, your purpose. You were walking your path, and then you stopped. And because you stopped, many other paths appeared. And now you're confused because your ego made these other paths appear. And you can barely see the path in front of you. It's become translucent, shall we say. And when I say translucent, it means it's fading away. It's harder for you to see. For some of you. For others of you, the path is very clear. It's very bright. It's very easy for you to see which path to take. You're only reinforced on which path to walk because there are no other options in front of you. So you think you are walking the right path. Some of you are on the right path, and you know you're walking the right path, and you don't doubt it. You're walking the path of God. You're walking your spiritual path. Others of you think you're walking the right path, but you're just walking the path of the ego. So, I was asked the question, what do people need to know right now about their spiritual evolvement, enlightenment? Or is there a message for anybody on earth about spirituality? That was the question posed to me. So, what I would say is, check in with yourselves. Are you really being honest with yourselves? Are you really following the path of God, of your soul, of what you are intended to do, spiritually speaking? Does it feel right? Does it sound right? Do you know it's right in your heart? Or are you following a path that just is one society tells you to follow, your family tells you to follow, one that is easier because you don't want to have to explain yourself for the path you prefer to follow? To become more spiritually enlightened, to evolve, to eventually ascend. That is the path. That is the more difficult path. That is the path that most people cannot take, because that is the path where you have to let your ego go. You choose your higher self. You choose God. You choose what is best for your higher self, for humanity, for others, not for you. So, I ask you, which path are you walking? Why have some of you stopped? Have some of you stopped because you've gotten confused? That is okay. It is okay to get confused. When you get confused, ask for help. We will help you. That's why we are here. We will show up and guide you. Your guides can shine a light on the path, or one of us as Ascended Masters will come and guide you. You all have an Ascended Master assigned to you. You have multiple. One of us will show up too and help you. You just have to ask. So if you're just confused, ask. If you know you've stopped and have taken a different path intentionally, the path of the ego, and you're aware of it, that is okay too. There is no judgment. We still love you. I ask you, why? As you should ask yourself, why? Why am I now taking this path when I was happier before and more fulfilled and felt connected to God and knew God and spoke to God and felt unconditional love and felt it in my heart, felt happiness and felt things I never felt before and knew things I didn't know before. Now I walk this path feeling more disconnected. I feel as I walk the path of my ego, I walk further and further away from God, further and further away from my guides, my angels, the Ascended Masters. I walk further away from the universe, from Source, from all of the collective consciousness in the cosmos. Ask yourself, why do I choose to do this to myself? Why do you think you deserve to punish yourself? Why do you think you do not deserve love? Why are you so wise that you think you're better than God, the creator of everything? That you know to walk a different path and sever ties from everything. That's another way of looking at it. I ask you to think about it from that perspective. Are you all-knowing and all-wise? That you know of a different path to walk? I ask these questions to make you think, make you ponder, because something made you change. The point of walking the path of spirituality is to bring you closer to God, the creator of everything. To bring you closer to us as your Ascended Masters. To bring you closer to all-knowing, all-loving, unconditional love. You've felt it because you've been on the path. You've seen the path literally unfold in front of you as you've walked it. Some of you are actually walking the path, and you know what I'm talking about. You're still on the path. You're very much connected to your higher selves and to all of us. Others of you have paused and don't know where to go out of fear. And others of you have turned your back and walked a different way. This is where I question. I'm not questioning your actions. I'm giving you questions to ponder and ask yourselves. It doesn't matter what you do. We all still love you. We don't stop loving you no matter what you do. It's just, how do you feel about yourself with the choices you're making? Or are you making excuses for the choices? It is okay to begin your spiritual journey and to try things and not let everyone know. There's nothing wrong with that. No one is saying you have to go on these TV shows that are broadcast all around your planet Earth. Well, I used to live on Earth. I just didn't live when TV existed. But you do not have to be there, and no one's asking you to make billions of people aware of what you're doing. You do not need to do that. It's just okay to walk your path spiritually in the right direction. Quietly, originally. Just start. That's all you have to do. The path will again begin to unfold in front of you. The right things will unfold in front of you. It is a blessed path from God, the creator of everything, who loves you unconditionally. As you walk the path is built. It is built with your highest good and most love for you in mind. But the moment you stop walking it, and the moment you pause and stop, the path stops. More paths appear because now you're working from your ego and no longer working from your higher self, which is connected to us. You are no longer walking in faith. You are no longer walking with your spirituality. Even though with some of you, I see your third eye is wide open. You're very clairvoyant, so you can actually still see the path being built. So some of you I'm talking to are on the path. I'm not talking directly to you, as I know you're on your path. I'm reaffirming you're on your path, and I know it is still being built. It is built with unconditional love for your highest good, with all the right intentions, and everything that happens is based out of love for you. You have to understand that. You have to trust unconditionally and know everything is meant for you from love. And we are all walking with you. For those of you who've paused and now there's 3 or 4 more paths and you don't know which way to go, it's because something has scared you. So I ask you, what has scared you? Something that is blocking you? Is it a trauma? Is it something somebody said to you? Is it fear from someone discovering that you may be deviating from what the traditional norms are within your family or your friends or your societal norms are for a spiritual path you want to walk? If it's a fear, that is something we can help you with. Fear is an illusion. We can help you with fear. Fear can be cleared. There are actually people on earth who are healers who can help you if you're truly blocked by something from a previous lifetime. If it's a fear in this current lifetime, or a fear of somebody in this current lifetime, there are still people who can help you with that. But part of all of this, too, is to help you evolve spiritually, become more enlightened, and also ascend. in order to ascend, you must clear all of your karma from all of your previous lives. To do that, you must let go of all of those fears. Some of you are actually on the path of ascension. When you're on the path of ascension, you are faced with every fear from each lifetime you've lived. So, some of you are actually walking right now your path of ascension. And you have paused because you are being faced and tested with one of your fears from one of your lifetimes. Do you not want to ascend spiritually because of this tiny little fear? If you want to look at it in those terms, it's just a piece of dust. That's what that fear is in terms of spiritual ascension. Some of you are so spiritually evolved. You are now on the next level of ascension, and you've already passed the first level towards your ascension. You're on the next level of facing every fear and phobia from all your past lives to move forward. So in doing so, you have to deal with those things. And that's why some of you are currently frozen and more paths are appearing in front of you. That's why we as Ascended Masters are here as teachers to help you with your ascension. So, I ask you, stop and reflect. What is this fear? Where is this fear coming from? Is this a fear from something like that? Then honestly, it's a piece of dust in terms of ascension. When you ascend, that means your soul has mastered everything in terms of spirituality. You've cleared all karmic debts, and there is no more rebirth. You are now with us in the light forever. If you choose to be. If you want to come back and be reborn, you can always choose that too. But usually, it's taken a long time to ascend spiritually, and there's other things to be done once you ascend. So, look at it from that perspective. You might be being tested right now from a spiritual ascension perspective. Think about your own spirituality and how enlightened you might be. Do people actually look at you as a very enlightened spiritual being? And all of a sudden you felt frozen by something that is a fear-based thing? I'll give you a simple example. Let's say I'm taking a nice walk through the forest on this beautiful path, and all of a sudden there's a giant spider in front of me. There's nothing wrong with spiders. They have a beautiful purpose on the planet Earth. But all of a sudden, I stop. But I know if I keep staying on this path, it takes me all the way to God, creator of everything, home. Yet I stop because I'm terrified of spiders. So I don't know what to do. But I look around and I see I can go left or I can go right. Or I could try to deal with this little spider that's on my path in front of me in the forest. But right now I'm just frozen, standing in the forest, trying to decide what to do. That's what you're being faced with some of you. who are ascending. You're walking the path, yet something scared you so much that 2 more paths appeared out of nowhere. So now you're trying to decide. Do you face the spider? Or do you turn left or turn right? Turning left and turning right doesn't take you to the path of God. You're still going to have to deal with the spider at some point. Turning left or turning right might take you to something bigger. I do not know. The point is, do you just want to step over the spider? You don't kill the spider. Do you just step over the spider and keep walking and let the path keep unfolding? Or do you turn left or turn right? But if you're unsure, it's okay to ask. Ask your guides. Ask your ascended master, who is your teacher. And if you're not sure who your ascended master is, who's your teacher, they will show up because they're already helping you. They've been guiding you this whole time. They've been teaching you, and a lot of you already know who they are. You will know them through the color. We are all affiliated by very specific colors. So that's how you will know. There'll be a specific color. If you are uncertain, there's also people you can ask who will know who your teachers are. You have 5 of us who work with you, but 1 of us is your master teacher on your life path for ascension. If you're on the path for ascension and you think you are, you can always ask certain people and they can tell you who your ascended master is for that, and they can help you with who that is. And then you can call us in and we can help. But you can always ask your guides and angels too. And they might give you the name as well. Or you can just say, Master, teacher, ascended master, I'm not sure who you are, but I know you've been helping me with my ascension and I could use some help right now, please, about what to do with this fear. And guess what? We will show up. For those of you who are walking the path spiritually towards God, creator of everything, unconditional love, I'm not saying you are walking the path of your final ascension. You're walking the path towards more spiritual enlightenment, potentially. You also potentially could have been walking the path towards ascension. I do not know. If there's a group of you that were walking that same path, let's say in the forest, and then 2 more paths appeared, and you didn't like either option, so you created your own path. That's what your ego did. You didn't like any of the options, so you made your own and walked out a different way out of the entire forest. For those of you, I ask again, why? What made you do that? I'm not asking to say you did anything wrong. I'm asking you to make you think what made you do that. Was there a spider in your way that scared you? Did you prefer to not be spiritual anymore and to close your eyes and not be on a spiritual journey? Did you choose to live an easier life and a more materialistic life? Was it too difficult? Were you afraid of unconditional love and the happiness you were feeling? Were you afraid of maybe some of the, how do I say, abilities or gifts that awoke in you, or maybe became stronger and you didn't like it? So you left and created your own way out. In doing so, one would say you think that you know better than the Creator. I'm not saying that's what you think, but working from an ego-based perspective and not your higher self, and following what your higher self desired and your soul desired, because you know what your soul really desired. You just acted from your ego and found your own way out. Says you think you know the way. And I ask, do you know the way? If you know the way, then please enlighten us all. Because I think everybody would like a shortcut, if there is one. I'm challenging you because I'm most worried about you. I am not saying you did anything wrong. You did not. We all love you. We are most worried about you, actually, because you ran away from unconditional love, and we want to help you the most. The others, we know, are going to be okay. I'm not saying you're not going to be okay, but we're trying to help you. How do I say? Enter the forest. Be willing to look at the path. Take a step in the right direction, if that helps. I know it's hard when you are living in an ego perspective and may have lost connection with your higher self. You may have stopped meditating or praying or disconnected from your friends who are more spiritually connected. That's okay. They will all welcome you back. They are ones who do not pass judgment, as we do not pass judgment, as God the Creator does not pass judgment. So, all you have to do is turn around and start walking, and you're on the path again. That's all you have to do. Or just ask. Ask your guides, ask your angels, ask one of us as an Ascension Master for help, and we will be right there. We will not leave anyone behind who wants to come along, anyone behind who needs help with their spiritual path, their journey. You are all part of our responsibility. We are your teachers. We love you. I am speaking for all of us who are the masters who teach all of you and walk with all of you. We are all assigned to all of you differently, but it's just I who is talking. It's just one. It's just me who's talking. I'm just talking on behalf of all of us because I know how we all feel. So, there are some of you who have strayed, shall we say. Some of you did it out of shame or guilt. There's nothing to be shameful of or feel guilty about. You are human. It is okay. You just ask for forgiveness. You can do it in your own privacy of your own home. That's it. And it's done. There's nothing else you have to do. All is forgiven. It's okay. Everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves spirituality. Everybody deserves enlightenment and the opportunity for ascension. Everybody deserves all these experiences, and everybody deserves us as their teachers to help them along the way. When you were in school and had trouble learning, was it not your teacher's responsibility to help you learn to read? How else are you going to learn to read? You can't just magically pick up a book and know how to read. Someone has to teach you. So that's our job, is to teach you along the way. You just don't know that we're there the whole time. We've been with you this whole time. We just want to make our presence more known, so you know we really are there. That's why we're talking more and are here more and prevalent more. So, all of you, your path to spiritual enlightenment, all of your journeys are different. It's okay. All of you are different. We love all of you. Each experience is unique. All of you are unique souls. Everything is okay. We just see that you're all on different pauses, if you will. And some of you are still moving forward through that forest on that path. So for those of you who are paused or have turned around and are going out, we ask you, please, ask for help. We don't want to see you not move forward, because you have felt that love, and we want you to continue to feel the love and move forward. And that is the purpose of this communication from me to you. We love you. You are always loved unconditionally. And I will talk with you again soon.